For the next 10 minutes or so, as the music plays, just relax. Close your eyes, rest in the presence, and hold space.
Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignyakara Dhura Hamare Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignyakara Dhura Hamare Sakala Vignyakara Dhura Hamare Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignyakara Dhura Hamare Ganganapataye Namo Namaha Ganapataye Namo Namaha Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamari Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamari Ganapataye Namo Namaha Ganapataye Namo Namaha Ganapataye Namo Namaha Ganapataye Namo Ganapataye Namo Namaha Suklam Bharadaram Vishnu Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Ganapataye Namo Namaha Ganapataye Namo Namaha Ganapataye Namo Namaha Ganapataye Namo Namaha Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamari Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamari Ganapataye Namo Namaha Ganapataye Namo Namaha Ganapataye Namo Namaha Ganapataye Namo
Namaste.
Welcome.
Welcome to our weekly online satsang. Satsang being a Sanskrit word that means community of truth. That sounds pretty fancy, but a satsang happens whenever two or more people on the path of awakening and flowering into oneness with the divine come to share their journeys, their struggles, their breakthroughs, their inner peace and silence. We strengthen each other exponentially when we join together. It is a necessary ingredient on the spiritual path of awakening and transformation. So we're glad you're here tonight. It's really important, if you can, to find a group or a community near you where people are experiencing awakening into higher states of oneness with the divine and with all that is. You'd find that you have more in common with those people than people that belong to your church or your temple or your whatever spiritual community you may have been brought up in. We have more in common with others who are awakening than people in our own groups. So if you don't find one, start one. On our website, we have a 36-minute initiation video for the Flowering Heart Blessing, something we're sharing here tonight. The Flowering Heart Blessing, Hridaya, Vikasa, Diksha, is a direct transmission of divine presence, awakened consciousness, light, that catalyzes in the receiver the process of awakening and transformation. It's a beautiful thing, and you're receiving it right now. We'd like to invite you to just give the divine the okay to pour the Flowering Heart Blessing through you to all who join us here online tonight and all who ever view this video or even listen to the audio at any time in the future. For these spiritual blessings, like the Flowering Heart Blessing, are spirit, pure spirit. Unlike energy or frequency that has to move through space and time, spirit is everywhere, always, now and here. So someone watching this 10 years from now would feel the same presence that we share and feel here tonight. So please join us if you resonate with this energy and presence in sharing it. We're living at a critical time on earth when humanity must shift from competition, conflict, and war to cooperation, harmony, and peace. This will require more than just a few enlightened beings. What needs to happen is the entire collective consciousness of humanity needs to shift into harmony and peace. That will take place when enough of us individually have awakened to tip the scale. Now that sounds like a big deal, and it is, but awakened consciousness is so much more powerful and contagious than negative consciousness that we figure we need about 1 in 100,000 people on this planet to really awaken. That would be 82 million. That's a lot of people, but we're on a planet with 8.2 billion. All we need is 1 in 100,000, and it's happening. More and more people are awakening into oneness. Countless numbers are at various stages of awakening. We need like 82,000. I said million, didn't I? It's not. No, 82,000 is 0.001%. 82,000 that are fully awakened. So the best thing you can do for the world right now is to keep working on yourself, to keep consenting to the journey and growing and unfolding. Any other announcements? Yes, our book club.
Yeah, and the service yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday our service, the monthly interfaith communion with the Cosmic Christ, was gratitude to grace. Key. to all blessings. Usually we're grateful for things. When we say we're grateful to, it means we're grateful to a person. As it turns out, grace is the divine itself. Grace is a person, not a thing. And we learn through grace that the divine is offering all blessings freely. So we don't need to get the divine to agree to give us awakening or healing or abundance in life or good relationships. The divine freely gives us all things. What we need to do is work on our ability to open to receive what the divine already wants to do in us, which changes things a lot. So the recording, the video is there on Facebook, Vimeo, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, it's right here on my profile page. And I think you would like it. A longtime member of our community said that it was the most heartfelt sermon he had ever heard here. And I think that might just be true. We love heart feelings. we love love and grace. So, in addition, our book club will be resuming this coming Sunday, which is Easter. You probably have plans, but if you don't, 2 p.m. Easter Sunday, online, Facebook Live. No, it's Zoom. So you need to go to our website and click on the book club and centering group link, and the Zoom link is there. And we would love to have you join us. We're focusing on this book, Don't Believe Everything You Think. Why Your Thinking is the Beginning and End of Suffering. And it's really a marvelous little book by Joseph Nguyen. And he says this is an entirely new paradigm. It is not rewiring the brain. It is not rewriting your past. It is not positive thinking. It's more than that, and very simple. So you can get this book on Amazon, a hard copy for $12.50. Be careful right now because they offer a paperback version for $9 that is not the new expanded edition.
It's about 65 pages shorter.
and I have a paperback copy that is expanded, and it doesn't say it on the cover either.
Oh.
You have to open it to the title page, and it says expanded edition. It's tricky,
Yeah.
but you want to get the expanded version, which was released in 2024. And it's so inexpensive, and you can get it very quickly from various outlets. And there's a link to do that right on the page that describes the book club and the centering group. So join us. Centering is a really amazing God-centered form of contemplative meditation that came from the teachings of the early desert monks of the Middle East. And if you've ever been looking for a very simple, very direct meditation on the God within, the inner divine, I think it would be well worth your time to check out centering prayer. It's being practiced by Christians, Jews, Muslims, Taoists, Buddhists, Hindus, pagans. If I left your group out, it's being practiced by people of all faiths and spiritual teachings to great effect. It goes right to the heart of it, and I think you would enjoy that.
So that's 2 o'clock on Sundays for an hour, and then we do a half an hour of centering prayer together.
From 3 to 3:30.
From 3 to 3:30, and we have some people that join us on Zoom just for the meditation.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can come just for the book club part. You could come just for the
Meditation.
centering part at 3.
Or do both.
That's right. Please give us a love or a like if you're on Facebook. Give us a heart or a thumbs up. If you're on Vimeo, you could just enter something in the chat, your name and hi, and we'll look at the end and see your names and send you special hugs, and blessings. We like to see who drops in. And we like to open it at this point to questions and answers on the spiritual journey. And so ask that spirit within you. If there's some area of the spiritual journey where you would like more insight, more clarity, and ask your question, and it always moves the divine to pour inspiration through me and Suzanne, and it helps stimulate the conversation in the satsang. So while you're looking inside and asking if there's something you might put up here, I'm going to share a little article and some quotes from inspiringquotes.com. This week, the author Christina Wright, a coffee-fueled writer living happily ever after with her family in the suburbs of Richmond, Virginia. And thank you, Christina. She has shared many cool things we've shared over the last few years. So this is wise advice about being your authentic self. Be yourself is a familiar and ancient refrain. The idea of living an authentic life has been a topic for philosophers and psychologists for millennia. Lao Tzu, the 6th century BCE Chinese philosopher behind Taoism, tells us in the Tao Te Ching, knowing others is wisdom. Knowing yourself is enlightenment. More recently, research has reinforced the long-held idea that people who follow their own path in life have deeper, more meaningful relationships and are more resilient to external pressures or rejection. Authenticity may very well be the key to living a happy and fulfilling life. But how do we achieve it? Living our truth starts with self-awareness, knowing who we are and what we want. It's an understanding that can evolve throughout our lives, prompting us to regularly reconsider our passions, priorities, and values, even when that means resisting the comfort of conformity. Across the ages, writers, artists, scientists, and leaders have offered their wisdom about what it means to live authentically, leaving little doubt that being true to yourself is worth the introspection and effort it takes to get there. In her seminal poem, The Summer Day, Pulitzer Prize-winning poet Mary Oliver asks, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" As the following quotes attest, there may be no better answer than simply be myself. So here we go. To be nobody but yourself in a world which is doing its best night and day to make you everybody else means to fight the hardest battle which any human being can fight and never stop fighting. E. Cummings. There's power in allowing yourself to be known and heard, in owning your unique story, in using your authentic voice. Michelle Obama. Young people searching for their real self must learn that the real self is not something one finds as much as it is something one makes. And it is one's daily actions that shape the inner personality far more permanently than any amount of introspection or intellection. Sidney J. Harris. Don't compromise yourself. You're all you've got. Janis Joplin. This above all, to thine own self be true. William Shakespeare. The authentic self is the soul made visible. Sarah Ban Brethnar. Weirdness is what sets us apart, gets us hired. Be your unapologetically weird self. In fact, being weird may even find you the ultimate happiness. Chris Sacca. In order for connection to happen, we have to allow ourselves to be seen, really seen. Brene Brown. The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. Joseph Campbell. Knowing who we are is hard. Eliminate who we're not first, and we'll find ourselves where we need to be. Matthew McConaughey. It's very important that we pursue truth in our artwork. You change the world by being yourself. Yoko Ono. The real religion is not imitation of anybody else. It is a search to find out your own authentic self, who you are. Rajneesh, also known as Osho. Be who you were created to be, and you will set the world on fire. St. Catherine of Siena. Only the truth of who you are, if realized, will set you free. Eckhart Tolle. I've always done exactly whatever I want, and always been exactly who I am. Billie Eilish. We are constantly invited to be what we are as something worthy and noble. Henry David Thoreau. Accept right now that you are magnificent. Being your real, true, authentic self is what's most awesome about you. Gabby Bernstein. No matter what, people are going to like you or not like you. So be authentic and let them like you or not for who you actually are. Kobe Bryant. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Stephen Jobs. If you're always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. Maya Angelou. Those were some fun ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, the one that said, your true self is not something to be discovered. You're creating it through your actions more than anything you could find through introspection. That's pause for thought for those of us who are meditators. Okay, let's see what we've got. Hi, Leslie. Namaste. On Facebook, we have a question from Michael Christopher. Speaking to me and responding, I think, to the message on grace yesterday. Michael, you had mentioned that Rumi said to find the blocks within that keep love away. How does one do that? Rumi said to find the blocks within that keep love away. How does one do that? Well, let me first read what Rumi actually said. Now, that's close, but not exactly. Because from Rumi's point of view, you can't keep love away. So, here's what Rumi said. Lovers don't finally meet somewhere. They're in each other all along. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. It's already in you. The barriers we build may numb us to its presence, but it's already there. And Rumi says, your lover is already there within you. And you shouldn't seek it. So I guess the first question I would have to ask is, he says your task is not to seek for love. Are you seeking for love? If the answer is yes, that's the first thing to look at, and what I was really addressing in that whole teaching on grace and how God leads us to the perfect counterpart. Or, it's either that or it gives us genuine peace and grace in our solitude. Finding either one, according to what we read and understood, is put the search in God's hands and quit. And just be centered on the light and doing what you're called here to do. Okay, so your task is not to seek for an adequate partner, but merely seek and find all the barriers within yourself you've built against it. Well, we don't have to look far, any of us. What is the opposite of love? What is the biggest obstacle and barrier to love? I mean, love's already in there. God, the fullness of the Godhead is inside of us, which is unquenchable, infinite love. So, what's the main obstacle to us connecting with infinite love? Fear. Fear. And what is the broken child of fear? Anger. So the greatest obstacles are walls to discovering the one that's hiding inside of you, whether it is the infinite love of God in your solitude, or whether it is the perfect counterpart that is a grace gift from the divine. In all those major cases that I shared, the divine brought Rebecca to Isaac, Eve to Adam, and Christ said, every man has his proper gift from God, some after this manner and some after that. Okay? So, fear. Fear of what? Well, whatever. Fear just in general quenches love and generates anger. And I think we had a conversation before about these pervasive feelings of fear and anger. So they're there. To clearly see them, that's our work. We have to allow them to come into, with the help of divine grace, where we can see them, where we can see the fear, we can see the anger, and when you see it, you're halfway home right there, because we can begin to work on the things we see. And I don't mean just experiencing the after effect of fear and anger, the feelings, but actually zeroing in on the barriers that we have erected within ourselves, built against love. And if we don't already know that and can't just name it, probably it happened in the first 7 years of our life. or maybe we brought it with us, but it's somehow it's in the unconscious, it's in the shadow world. And so we need to pray for grace and do the introspective contemplative work to bring into view these shadows within us that harbor fear, that harbor anxiety, that harbor anger. That, an obvious fear is, I fear I will never find the right person. I fear that these patterns that I've experienced up to this point will continue to repeat. And we know that these patterns will repeat until the pattern is raised into consciousness and seen clearly for what it is. That's not easy stuff. It dovetails right into what E.E. Cummings said was the hardest battle you will ever fight is for your authentic self, which is love, not fear, not anger, not anxiety. It's love and light. And he said you've got to fight and keep fighting and not stop. Well, I suppose he's right. Carl Jung said that the hard work, that if we really want to help the world and be transformed ourselves, we need to enter into the inner work of facing our own shadow material. And just because you want to, just because you said, okay, I'm going to do this now, doesn't mean it just happens. It's not so easy. I think that's one of the reasons so many people are drawn to extraordinary measures these days to try to get at the unconscious, the obstacles there. I think that's why there's so much, things like plant medicine that really cause an upsurge of unconscious material to come into the light. That's not the answer. But once you see the source of these patterns within, then we can deal with it directly. And you already know many tools for doing that. Do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I was just sitting here meditating on it while you were talking. And I feel like with our culture being so focused on texts and selfies and short conversations, short attention spans, what we've been exposed to from TV and the media about, relationships and sex on the movies, and there's a depth of relationship that I think people are seeking, but they don't even know how to get it or what even that would look like. Maybe they've seen it somewhere before and they're like, oh, that's what I want. But like Michael said, there's a maturity to having a relationship like that. And for a lot of people that have found that, it does start with going within and knowing yourself and loving yourself, accepting yourself, and knowing a higher power other than just yourself to be humble to and to ask for help and ask for grace. I think we all just want like a quick fix now. And relationships, I personally feel like relationships are the hardest thing we'll ever do in our lives. We can just breeze through anything else pretty much, and then we get into a relationship and you've got to be there for the other person. If they're going to be there for you, you really have to open your heart. You have to share. You have to make commitments. It's a lot of work and communication, open communication, and it's not always easy. Relationships are difficult if they're being done right. And I feel like if people are out there just getting on apps and dating sites and just wanting a connection because they're missing something from inside of themselves, that they're going to keep finding the wrong relationships, because it's not very attractive to get into a relationship and after a while, a few months or a year or two, you realize that this person isn't fulfilled in themselves. And if we're fulfilled in ourselves, then we have something to actually give and bring to the table. If we're not fulfilled, there's going to be need. And it's usually matched by the need of the other person too. And at the beginning, that feels like really romantic and really exciting. And oh my gosh, this person has my same needs. But imagine a relationship where you don't need those needs outside of yourself. You are fulfilled inside of yourself and you love yourself unconditionally and you're ready to give that to somebody else. Then you're more likely to attract a partner who's in that same state of consciousness, who's fulfilled in themselves. They don't need a relationship to be happy. They would just like to share their joy and happiness with somebody else. So I think a lot of times we're starting to build a building without having the plumbing or the electricity or the framework or the foundation down. And it's just going to be a house of cardboard, a house of cards. It just, one little breeze, one argument, one discussion, it's just going to blow over. And you're like, oh, this person isn't for me because they're not giving me what I want. And that's a deeper meditation. We've been talking about this for the last couple days. So thank you for asking the question because I'm gaining more insight.
When two completed people come together, their love is a beautiful thing because it isn't riddled with codependency. And they become a couple in love, in whole love, becomes a radiant source of light to the world. So that kind of love relationship is constantly giving to others in a beautiful way. Christ said, love your neighbor as yourself. If we don't love ourselves, can we really love another? There's the issue. I mean, I used to not love me. So how could I really give self-giving true love to another person when I didn't love me? Oh, I value that person more than myself. Well, that's not healthy. So we need to learn to, what you said, accept and love ourselves. I mean, that's paramount, and that will remove and melt away some of these barriers to love. There's a lot of work to do on ourselves. There are a lot of sick human relationships. That's why we're in a world of competition. We're relating to try to outdo and overcome the other person. That leads to conflict, not a peaceful, harmonious relationship, and war. And that's what, if you look at your life and you've lived long enough, a lot of the emotional pain that we endure as humans comes from sick relationships, broken relationships, where damage is done and relationships break up. So doing this right and putting the work into it is really important. Otherwise, we can just keep repeating those patterns over and over and over. And like Suzanne said, so you go a month or two or a year or two and you come to the same realization.
And it just keeps happening because you're going to keep drawing the same energy of somebody that has needs and expects you to fulfill them instead of being able to fulfill them themselves.
So when I am in a situation like this, I say, God, show me. Open my eyes and show me what I'm not seeing. And sometimes that takes some perseverance and patience. But God will. Call unto me and I will answer you and show you great and hidden things. And these are some of those hidden things, the secrets about ourselves. God loves us so much, God lets us in on these secrets. God thinks it's doing us a favor by showing us these deep, dark secrets about ourselves, but it really is a favor, because only then can we dissolve those patterns and those emotional charges that are creating barriers to love. So, there you go. Great question. We got to fill the whole evening with it.
We did.
Still love to get some loves or likes. If any of you love or even like us, that would be great. Just talking about Facebook. But like on Vimeo, as Leslie said, oh, and Andy, hi, thank you. Yeah, and thank you guys for saying hi. All right, so let's close our eyes and invoke the presence within. The same Rumi said, you're not just a drop of the ocean of God, you are the entire ocean of God in a drop. It's all inside of you right now. It is omnipotent, it's all powerful, all knowing, all wise, and all love. And this divine presence just yearns to free you from suffering, to fill your spirit with the light of divine union, your soul with divinely inspired thoughts and feelings and plans and patterns, and to clear away all the debris of that negative thinking and emotional content. It yearns to flood our bodies with healing grace, to heal all of our dis-eases. So receive the light of awakening. Just receive. You don't need to beg. The divine knows you need it, knows you want it. If you just let go, the gravitational pull of divine love will draw you into the celestial sun, the center of your being, and melt you into oneness. That's enlightenment. It will flood your soul with divinely inspired thoughts and ideas, plans and energies, and your body with healing. It will shine out into your relationships. And if they're negative and unproductive, it will either transform them or dissolve your attachment. And it will draw into your life healthy, life-giving, love-filled relationships. Just receive and drink in the grace that is pouring out to you right now. See us all sitting in a circle, a blessing circle together. With your eyes closed, lift up your hands, with your palms open, facing forward. And let us invite the divine presence to pour through all of us. The flowering heart blessing. As it flows through you, it will transform you. Melt away the blocks, shine light in the dark places. As it flows through you to the others in the circle, it's flowing back to you through all of them. Put your cares, your burdens in the middle of the circle and leave them there in the hands of God. And we all place ourselves in agreement for divine intervention in your life, in your situation. Every one of you. Receive the grace that you need to be free. visualize the earth now in the middle of our circle, and let us invite the divine to pour light through us, through our blessings, to the entire planet, to bring healing to the earth. All the natural forces of the earth and the earth itself, all of the living creatures, and especially to the 8.2 some billion people. May it dissolve the fear and the anger and flood the human heart with peace and love and light. May the spirit of depression be dissolved by the light of joy. Throughout the world, may the light of hope shine in the desperate and desert places that so many people today find themselves. Just let it flow through you, and know that it's flowing through you to the people of the world. It is ministering to you, helping you as it flows through you. Now relax your hands in your lap. And when you're ready, open your eyes and begin to make direct eye contact with Suzanne or me. Just keep gazing in an open, receptive way. Keep gazing at least one of our eyes. In the light meditation, floods and oceans of love and light flood and flow through Suzanne and me to you, through our whole being, especially through our eyes, the windows of the soul. Just keep looking, and the light of awakening will grow brighter and brighter, and the warmth, the flames of divine love will become brighter and brighter within you, transforming and awakening. Just keep looking and receive. There's nothing else for you to do. Close your eyes now. Meditate with us a few more moments as the grace settles within. Now keep meditating as long as it feels nice to you. Or you could find a place nearby to lie in Shavasana. That's the easiest yoga pose of all. You find a comfortable place and you lie down on your back. With your eyes closed, your arms loosely at your sides with your palms open and turned upward. And just let yourself dissolve with gratitude in the presence. We love you very much.
Much love, light, and blessings.
Until we meet again, know that the divine in us beholds the divine within you. And we bow to you.